I think I'm gonna stop taking melatonin. It's just not making me feel very rested, and I get really weird dreams. So I'm not feeling very rested this morning. I didn't take the melatonin until like 11:30 last night though, because I didn't take it until I realized I was going to have trouble sleeping. On top of that, I think maybe as a result of that, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with today. It's amazing how quickly everything just goes to crap. It's just so, I mean, and then that is because of the construction and like remodel stuff. I'm just feeling so overwhelmed in my space right now. And keeping on top of it has helped me feel really calm lately. Having a clean space has helped me just feel more relaxed. And so I think when it gets messy, I just really, really feel it. I have quite a few things to do today. One of the things that I need to do is bake. Baking in 83 degrees is not great. And I would love to do that first thing this morning. I don't think I can. I've got to clean up. I'm not gonna bake in a dirty kitchen for a lot of different reasons. And I have to go on my walk this morning. It's about the time where I have to leave, and I'm just feeling like I don't want to spend the hour to do that. It's okay. I'm gonna go for the walk first. I know I will feel better after the walk is done, and then I will worry about getting stuff done. My husband said that he found out that this annoying tree that we were thinking about cutting down is a hazelnut. And lo and behold, it's covered in clematis, because that vine, which looks like a mess, is absolutely beautiful in May when it blooms. Um, so it has taken over this tree. But look at that. We are discovering things in our yard every year. No joke. Every year since we've lived here, we have found something new. I will do a yard tour soon. It's still out of control. We're doing our best to keep it in control. It's been out of control since we moved here. It is a lot better than it used to be. And there's fun things that we find all the time. I came to a realization on my walk this morning pretty quickly that I mean, I knew this already, but I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I stress myself out when I don't need to stress out. And so I was thinking about my plans for the day and thinking about why I felt so pressed for time. Now, the big thing is I have an order of cookies. I am being paid for these cookies. They are for family, but I am being paid to produce cookies for this event. So it is important to me that I am mindful. I want to do my best. But I also realize that if I'm going to be doing this for a living, if I'm going to be doing this regularly, I can't stress myself out every single time I get an order. And I had to take a moment to realize that I know how long it takes me to do this. I know what my time frame realistically is, and I don't need to stress out about it. I need to have the confidence that I know what I'm doing and that I can tackle this in a way that makes sense without stressing out about timelines and deadlines, because it didn't work for me in my last job, and I certainly have no room in my new life to entertain that kind of behavior or idea. So I came up with a new plan for today, which makes me feel a lot better. And honestly, it makes more sense. I probably should have just sat down and thought about it before. I'm going to shift my focus on making sure that I can clean up my kitchen. I need to clean up the mess from the tiling and the construction stuff and just make sure that it's more organized. I can't take it out of the kitchen because it's an ongoing project, but I can make sure that it's out of my way a little bit more. And then I really want to make sure that I do all the dishes and clean all the countertops so everything is clean and ready for me to make cookies tomorrow. But the other thing I need to make sure to do is finish my salad because I'm going to be eating the new salad starting today, and I have all the components, but I haven't had a chance to put it together. So I'll make sure to finish that and let you know how it tastes. That's really good. This recipe has so much, so much chopping. I put in this amount of vegetables and feel like this is a good mix. And so I have this much left over. I'm just gonna go ahead and add these to the lo mein because I could always use more veggies in the lo mein. And we'll probably eat that tonight, I think, for dinner. So that gets rid of the rest of the charred veggies. And now we have this, and we can put the dressing on it. All right, that looks pretty great. One of the things that I did want to do was cook up some chicken breast to go with this so that I had some extra protein, and I miscalculated on that and had to use the chicken for last night's dinner, and so I don't have any thawed. That being said, I have not had any issues meeting and honestly exceeding my protein goals, so I'm not going to worry about it this week. My only concern is whether or not it's going to keep me full enough. But there's so many veggies in there, I think that it might. All right. It is a heck of a lot better in here. I actually have room to make cookies. And I even cleaned my stove because it needed it. Oh, it is very, very hot in here. And it's 4:30, so it is a great time for me to stop, go cool down, and just call it a night. I'm going to go have the rest of this Sweet Heat nut mix that we got from Costco. I am quite hungry. As suspected, that salad alone was not enough for me. And when I actually put it into my app, it said it was 138 calories. I'm not entirely sure why it's fewer calories than what is on the website, other than I did use a couple other vegetables, but I am definitely going to need something to bulk it up. I mean, even if I did a double serving, which would still be too few calories for lunch, I think I'm going to need something else. So I may look for some sort of protein option to go with it tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to have a bit of a snack because I don't have to worry about dinner for another hour or so, and I think I can tide myself over. We are on a much shadier portion of the trail this morning because it is 8 a.m. barely, and already like 65 degrees. So it's not my favorite portion of the trail, but I think it's necessary in times like these. Good morning. I'm feeling pretty relaxed right now. I'm fighting some negative feelings in the last couple of days, so I've been feeling a little bit off, but I'm plugging along. I'm getting stuff done. I'm powering through it, and today is cookie day. baking is done. I only had the oven on for just over an hour, so I'm feeling pretty good about not keeping the kitchen overly hot longer than necessary. It was very efficient today. So it is lunchtime now, and I just cooked up a chicken thigh that I have in my fridge. So I threw some, what did I put on it? Garlic and herb seasoning, and threw it in the air fryer. And I'm going to have that with my Mediterranean salad that I made, because we already know that that's not going to fill me up. So hopefully that will help a little bit. I have decided that I'm not going to do any more cookie stuff. I would like an opportunity, maybe, to finish all the decorating in one day. You know, it's kind of a hit or miss, but the designs that I'm thinking of and what's going on, and the fact that I only have 4 colors, is actually in my favor. So I might be able to get all the decorating done in one day, in which case I don't want to start now and then have leftover frosting and have to deal with the leftovers, because sometimes the colors can settle or bleed, and I just would rather not. If I can mix it up fresh and use it in the same day, that's always ideal. So that means that I'm just going to start that first thing tomorrow morning, and see how far I can get. So I'm done with cookies for the day, which means I don't have to hang out in a hot kitchen, and I'm gonna go eat this. And I think I might get a head start on editing some videos. I'm falling further behind, and I don't really like being a month behind, because it's not up to date with actually what's going on with my life. So I think I'd like to just speed edit through as much as I can and get some things posted, maybe 3 times a week. Maybe I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I've got some time to figure that out today. But first I have to eat. I'm so hungry. It's cookie day. I am actually so excited to be doing cookies today. And honestly, there's a reason I would like to do this for a living. I really love doing this. I really love decorating cookies. I feel like I get better at it every time I do it. I learn something every time. I just look forward to the day that mine can look perfect. Some people can do these perfect cookies. They're just amazing. That being said, I have a long day of frosting ahead of me. I'll probably just play a podcast and listen to that while I'm decorating. About halfway through the day and about halfway through the cookies. The ones that are going to have words on them are going to take me longer, and maybe something that I do tomorrow. But I think I can get the majority of these done today. Honestly, I don't hate this salad, but it's not been my favorite, and it's not filling enough. I'm kind of hungry, but I don't really want to eat the salad. Obviously, I'm going to anyway. Yesterday was really nice to have some chicken along with it, but I don't have any more chicken. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to add with this to kind of bulk it up. But I'm going to make some lunch, take a moment, rest my back, because I've been leaning forward to do these cookies for several hours now, and then get back to it. I want to get as much of the cookies done as possible so that I don't have to worry about it. I ended up stopping my phone from recording because I was afraid that I was going to run out of battery. And I didn't get the cookies finished anyway. I have just a few more to do, and so I'm going to start fresh on those tomorrow and call it a day for right now. But I got most of them done, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. On the flip side of that, though, I'm not really sure what happened. My mood completely shifted. And I am really struggling right now. And I almost didn't record anything about it because I don't know. I'm like embarrassed and I'm feeling really insecure, and it's hard to share those things, but I figure it's part of my day. It's part of what I'm going through. It's part of, this shift that I'm experiencing. I'm not very happy with the cookies, and I hope that maybe sleeping on it and, seeing them tomorrow and having a good night's sleep and just ending my night and not looking at them all day will help me. About halfway through, I think I started feeling really disappointed with them, not feeling like it was going the way that I wanted, not feeling like it was some of my best work. It really doesn't help that it's so hot in my kitchen, because the consistency of the icing really changes, and it got a lot harder to work with. I may have to invest in some air conditioning just so that I can have a stable temperature while I'm doing cookies, I swear. On top of that, I was sent a reference picture for what my aunt is looking for, and I don't really like the idea of copying someone else's work entirely, so I took it as a reference and I tried to change it up a bit and add sort of my own style to it. And I don't know if I'm just comparing the two and I'm not happy, or if I messed it up and by putting my own spin on it, I made them worse. I don't know. Ultimately, I'm having a bit of an existential crisis right now because I'm feeling like I should not have quit my job to do this. And that if it weren't for the fact that I'm giving these, to my aunt and my cousin, I don't know if I would be really happy selling these. If somebody else purchased these and this is what I gave them, I'd be so worried. And I don't know if that's a me thing. Yeah, I'm really, really struggling. So, like I said, I called it quits. I got to a stopping point. I've got a few more to do that are not going to get done right now. So I'm going to do those tomorrow morning after I clear my head. I came out here to sit in my hammock. It is not any cooler out here than it is in the house. It is so hot. But I'm going to sit here. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to try to play with my dog, although he just plays keep away while we're out here. And I'm going to try to just move on tonight. And hopefully my mood can change. I'm not entirely sure what has caused this shift for me to suddenly be feeling like so insecure and just like, especially since this morning, I was so excited and I was so happy. But that's life, right? Emotions and things happen, and I'm just gonna try to deal with it the best that I can. My husband will be home in like 20 minutes, and I think that'll help. I'm gonna call it a night. Hi, it's the next day and it's lunchtime, so let's play a little bit of catch up. Last night I hung out in the hammock outside with the dog for a little bit. I had an adult seltzer and I just tried to not get lost in my feelings. And after my husband got home, I made a comment to him that all I really wanted to do was just order pizza. And it was at that moment that I realized that I was kind of at the precipice of falling into an emotional eating moment, which I don't do nearly as much as I used to, but I recognized it, which is really important for me. And so what I decided to do instead was come inside and use the leftover zucchini pizza ingredients that I have to kind of create this fake pizza using a low carb tortilla. And that was great. It satisfied me. It helped me get through that moment where all I really wanted to do was have something easy and quick and familiar and, comfort food. I think pizza might be one of my biggest comfort foods. But it also allowed me to stay under my calories for the day instead of over them. So I was really, really happy with that decision and really glad with the way that, we ended the night. And this morning I decided that I needed just a little bit of a break from filming some stuff, and I just needed to do my own thing for a bit. So we went on the walk, my dog and I, and I actually did decide a few minutes later into the walk that I would go ahead and run today. It's Friday. I try to run on Mondays and Fridays, but I also am not pushing myself to do it if I really am not feeling it. But I did sort of feel like I wanted to try. And not only did I want to do it, I bumped myself up to the next week because it was telling me that I should, and ran a little bit more today. So the start of the second week, which is not really the second week for me, but the start of the second week, according to the app, is 1.5 minutes of running and 2 minutes of walking. And I just kind of wanted to see if I could, and I could. So that made me feel really good this morning. And I think the endorphins did help. I was kind of hoping that that would help my mood, just starting the day off with a run. I came home, I had my coffee, I had my breakfast, I watched an episode of This Is Us, I had a wee little cry, I took a really nice shower. It's 1 o'clock, it's well time for me to eat some lunch and get started on the rest of the cookies today. So here I am moving on with my day. My pizza just finished. Oh no, pineapple down. So I was going to say that it was so good yesterday that I was going to go ahead and make one more. I have a few more of these ingredients that I just don't want to waste. So I was like, why not have this and that salad that I'm not a huge fan of for lunch today. So let's eat lunch and then finish those cookies. Delicious breakfast this morning, kind of spur of the moment, decided to make something different, and I'm not really worried today about my calories too much. I've been under calorie all week, not really wanting a lot of stuff or feeling like I need to eat more than I have been, just naturally sort of ending lower than anticipated every day. I'm not going to complain about that. And so I'm going to go into today just trying to enjoy the day, trying to enjoy the baby shower. I know this is a big topic and a big area of concern for a lot of people after surgery, no matter how far out you are. When you have events that you have no control over the menu, you have no control over what's going to go on, and how to eat. You're not going to sit there and log your calories for everything, that you're probably eating at a birthday party, or in this case, a baby shower. The way I handle it is I know that I've been doing really well all week. I have been exercising. I am feeling really good. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself today. I'm not going to overeat, but I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry about what's there. I do know, I talked to my grandma yesterday that she's bringing her potato salad, so I am stoked about that. And I will probably eat one of my cookies because I love eating my cookies, and I haven't been. I decorate these cookies, I put a lot of effort into them, and I don't snack on them. So looking forward to that. Speaking of, they're packed away, and I forgot to film last night the ending of everything. So I'm going to put in a couple of pictures here of the final product. I did spend a little extra time yesterday adding some details and some outlines to them that just made me feel a little bit better. I don't think that it really changes the overall look of them. I'm not sure what about it makes me feel a little bit better. I have been really struggling with this. I don't know what kind of emotions are happening right now, but I've just really been struggling with not being happy with the end result. I need to let it go. They were still a lot of fun to make, and I do love making cookies. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. I'm battling a lot of emotions. I'm just trying to deal with it one step at a time. There is one thing that I am so excited about though. Yesterday, while I was battling through my mood, I got a notification that my nail polish was going to be delivered early. This is my new vice. This is the new thing that I've put my energy and my money into is nail polish. I'm just absolutely obsessed. There was nail polish that I really was hoping that I would be able to use for the baby shower, and it was saying that it was going to get delivered Monday. So I was like, oh, that's too bad. And lo and behold, it got delivered early yesterday. So I got to wear my new nail polish, which I'm super excited about. I tried to sort of match the cookies with the orange and blue kind of thing. I just wanted to show it off because I'm so excited about it. I got the Holo Tacos 6th anniversary collection. So excited. It's so adorable. You know, there's not very many things that I like kind of get all nerdy about for limited edition stuff, and the nail polish and the Holo Taco stuff is what I'm just obsessed with right now. This is one of the self-care things that I've been doing for a few years now, and I really, really enjoy buying nail polish for myself occasionally, spending the money on that, sitting down in the evenings and redoing my nails every week. It really gives me a lot of like calm me time. And so I indulge this one thing that I really, really love. And that's probably it for me. I think this is probably the end of the video if I'm getting a good gauge of things. So with that, I think I actually have time for an outro. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are always looking at the big picture, make good choices, and I will see you in the next one.